I never know how to start my YouTube videos. I don't know if I should go straight into it or just say hello first, but this is my introduction. Hey, the goal of my video today, I want this to feel reassuring to you. I want you to leave this video and feel like you can trust yourself, like you can breathe, and that you have the confidence that you're doing the right thing right now. So my message is every time you try something new, accept that it's going to be hard. It is hard for everyone. It doesn't matter how motivated you feel to start. It doesn't matter how much you want the result. It will always feel hard to get started. We all feel this universal force of resistance when you try something new. It's like you're going to war and you only have a stick. Like, it's going to be hard to go into combat and win, but you can find a way and you will win. And then what you have to realize is that the hardest part is actually starting, the beginning. That's the hardest thing you will do, because once you get going and you have other obstacles, you will finally be more equipped. You will have more knowledge. You will have more resources. You will have more experience to go through the combat. So now, instead of having a stick when you're at war, you're going to have an actual sword. You're going to actually go into combat. You're going to have a horse. You're going to have a team. You're still going to face obstacles along the way, but it's never going to feel as hard as when you started and you were solo. So just remember that if you're starting something new, if you're trying to learn a new skill, if you're trying to get out of your comfort zone, if you're trying to be self-disciplined, if you're trying to incorporate new habits, it's going to feel so hard. And that is normal. And if you quit, you're just going to be like 90% of people. Most people feel the hardship and they quit. And that's why they never make progress. If you just learn to overcome that, you will already be ahead of the game. You will rule out so much competition. Actually, when things get hard, you should feel excited, because that means that everybody else probably feels the way you feel and they don't go through it. They give up, but you're not going to give up. And that's why you're going to go on the other side. That's how you're going to change your life. That's how you're going to revolutionize your life. You're going to look differently than most people because you're actually going to follow through and overcome the hump. In the early days, you're going to look around. You're going to try to find some help. You're going to be like, how can someone help me with this problem? How can I overcome this right now? Who can tell me or teach me how to do that? No one can learn anything for you. It's you versus you, baby. Like, you are the only person that can actually overcome this. No one can, make you work out and get fit. A personal trainer can tell you what to do, but you're the one that's actually going to have to put your body through it, to go through the hardship. So any progress you want to see in your life, you're the one that's going to have to work through the grind. It's just you. And it's lonely at first. And eventually you will have help. But help only comes when you start getting a little bit more successful and the momentum gets going. But initially, it's just you. You and me, actually, because I'm on your team and we're working together. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're the one that's actually going to have to put in the work. And I think where most people get confused or they get a little bit lost is like, they have ambition, they have a vision, but they don't know what they want. Maybe you're one of those people. You're like, I have so much potential. I can feel it, but I don't know what to do. Start where you're curious. There has to be at least one thing you're curious about. Like, just the fact that you don't know what you want is a curiosity in itself. So Google how to figure out what you want. Maybe it will tell you to read something. Maybe it will tell you to do this, do that. Just try something. Do anything that you're curious about and commit to that. Because whatever you're going to do differently is going to be used for leverage later. If you keep doing the same thing every day and you just indulge in instant gratification instead of learning, you're going to have a very predictable future. But if you want a different type of future, you have to do things differently right now. So I don't know if you're familiar with Steve Jobs, but when he was at a certain point of his life, when he didn't create Apple yet, he took a calligraphy class where you have to learn about different fonts and stuff. And eventually, that knowledge that he had became the blueprint of the Apple fonts. But back in the day, he had no idea why he did that. He just thought it was interesting and took the course. So think about that for your life. Whatever you're curious about, spend some time learning about it, because oftentimes that knowledge is literally what's going to give you some leverage later on. It's what's going to give you some advantage and more opportunities, and you'll have more context than anyone else, because you will have a different experience, a different background. You won't be like everybody else that just scrolls on social media. You won't be like everybody else that just parties every weekend. You won't be like everybody else that just says yes to hanging out. You will do things differently. You will nurture your brain and your knowledge, and you'll gain wisdom. And over time, that will come with a purpose. And Steve Jobs also has a quote where it's like, what is it? About connecting the dots. So you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So just trust that whatever you're doing right now that's different will eventually make sense. Just trust that. And I firmly believe in that, because there are so many things I did in the past that I didn't know why I was doing it, but I was like, I'm interested in that. I'm going to learn into this. I'm going to spend time learning about this. Whether it was learning how the dopamine system worked or whatever. I just spent time learning something I'm curious about. And later on, I'm like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. And that is why I'm able to come on here on YouTube and talk, because I feel like I've built some knowledge and connections. And now eventually I'm like, okay, everything kind of revolves around optimizing your health, your wealth, your relationships. And I love talking about self-improvement. And now I'm building a channel that will help people self-develop and become influential leaders. Everything makes sense now. But back then I was just consuming educational content, trying to nurture my wisdom. And now everything makes sense. And I keep pushing myself, because you're going to reach different levels at different stages of your life. So don't ever settle. Always keep learning. So make sure you take meaningful action every single day. Be intentional about everything that you do. Remind yourself every 15 minutes, was I just going through the motion, or was I actually present and doing something that matters? Because every little thing that you do actually matters. Everything that you do tells a story to your brain about who you are. And it also helps you create your future actions. If you keep being intentional about being disciplined about working out, in the future, you will view yourself as someone that is healthy and works out. So you'll be able to work out easier, because that's just who you are. You have built proof. You have showed up every day. You have put in the action that proves that's who you are. So if you focus on spending time learning every single day, and you focus on delaying gratification and not indulging in vices, you will build proof that you are a learner. And everything in life that happens to you, you will just learn, and you will become smarter, and you will have a new perspective, and you will become a better problem solver. And that is the best thing that you can be. If you are a good problem solver, you can do anything, because you will have problems your whole life. It's your ability to deal with problems that makes you successful. The people that have problems and feel like they're a victim and they feel helpless towards that, they don't amount to much. They just become average or stay average, and they have a mediocre life. But I know you want something different for yourself. So when hard things are going to happen to you, you're going to look at it as, how can that make me better? How can I learn from this? How can that elevate me? And how can I become a more evolved version of myself? Embrace the suck. Embrace that things are hard. Embrace the difficulty of getting started. And you want things to be hard. I literally just thought about this the other day when I was on the bus, and I was like, if I had $1 billion deposited into my account right now, would I do things differently? What would my life look like? I would not feel better about myself. Yes, I would feel like I have more security. Yes, I feel like I could feel some weight off my shoulder about my life and like finances. But will I ever feel fulfilled about my potential, about having self-actualization? No, because that was too easy. Everything is worthwhile if it's hard. There's nothing of value that is easy. Like easy stuff isn't valuable. Is there an easy approach to anything of value? Is there a few exercises that give you the perfect body? Is there like quick steps to raising happy, healthy children? Is there like a shortcut to long and fulfilling marriages? Like anything that is easy isn't valuable. So once you know that and you feel like something is hard, just realize there is something greater on the other side. I like to think about there is no cheap approach to building your dream home. If you want to build your dream home, you need to put in so much effort into the architecture, the quality, the layout. It's a lot of effort, but wow, the result is magnificent. And it was so worth the time because now you have the home that you've always dreamt of having. No one respects the dude that like drives a nice car and has a lot of money just because their parents were a billionaire. Like we were just at IMG the other day, IMG Academy, which is like a huge, wealthy, probably the most expensive high school for student athletes. High school, okay? Like this is crazy when the schooling system is basically free in Canada. So it's just kind of crazy for me that people would spend over $50,000 or $100,000 a year just for high school. But anyways, there was this high schooler driving like this Lambo. And to me, it's like, it makes me laugh because I'm like, that doesn't give me BDE, you know? I just feel like in my mind, you're just the result of wealthy parents. Like good for you. You grew up with like a lot of money, but does that teach you anything? There's nothing that I look up to that person like, oh wow, I really respect this of that person. It's like, show me something of value. It's so much more fulfilling to work hard and get after your goals and actually have the results than if it was easily handed to you. That's how you get respect for yourself. That's how other people respect you. That's how you can actually impact people. That's how much your words can have value because you will have that relatable experience. People will identify to you and your problems that you went through, and they will respect you for that. You will be an inspiration to so many people. And isn't that what you want? Don't you want to be impactful? Don't you want to make the world a better place? It will become so much more worthwhile after you've gone through the hard shit. Starting is the perfect condition. Whatever condition you think that you need to be in to start, scratch that. Starting is the perfect condition. So just do the work, start now, and don't give up. Just do it, okay? Nike, you better sponsor me after all this. But trust yourself. I hope you feel better. I hope you know that we're on the same team, that we both feel the same thing, and together we will achieve our dreams. We're going to do things differently. We're not going to give up because things are hard. Okay, I love you so much. I will see you very, very soon in the next 2-3 days with a new video, okay? Bye. Mwah.